Hi guys, and welcome to another Fox and Moon Tarot Pick a Card reading. Today's theme is going to be what you need to know right now, and as you can see we've got 3 piles to choose from. So what you need to do is pick a card that you're the most attracted to at the moment, a pile that you're most vibing with at the moment, and then you can jump to the timestamp below. I'll have a message below the video so you can choose from, and then we can go from there. So pile 1 is this one here, pile 2 is the quartz, and pile 3 is the amphiboly. So when you're ready, you can just jump straight to the timestamp. Thanks guys. Hi guys, and welcome to your reading. If you chose pile number 1, this is for you. So what's really interesting for you in this reading is the theme of rest. And it's a theme of battling internal energies right now, mental energies that are quite difficult. And you can see here we've got the 10 of Cups, the Hangman, and the 5 of Wands. Sorry, I apologize, that is the 5 of Wands. I thought it was the 7 for a moment. So with these kind of energies, what's really happening is that there's a lot of movement on the inside, and there's a lot of inner turmoil, or I guess inner chatter that you're really battling at the moment. But you're somebody who wants to really get it together. There is a desire to want to feel really calm, a desire to get things together, and there is this sort of restlessness that comes from having this energy and trying to sit with it right now. And it feels as if you really want to get things going, you really want things to be moving, but it feels like you just can't. No matter how hard you work, no matter which place you turn to, it feels like you just can't get where you really want to be. You can't manifest the things you really want to do. You're working hard, you're overwhelmed. Things are really just not flowing for you at the moment. So there is a lot of really difficult energy at the moment for you. It doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever. It's just where you are right now. And the message that I'm getting is that it's really important for you to not fight with those things at the moment, to not really wrestle with yourself at this moment. It's a very sort of intense sort of energy. And the more that you fight with this energy, the more difficult it becomes. I would also like to note in this particular reading, at the top with the Shadowscapes reading, there is a lot of fiery energy. So you've got the 5 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, and the 10 of Wands, and that is 4 cards in an 8-card pack. So in an 8-card sort of reading here with the Shadowscapes, so that's half of your reading almost with Shadowscapes covered with fire. So it really is about it's not about working harder, it's not even about working smarter, it's about sort of realizing how hard you're working and that you're almost churning your wheels and not allowing yourself to reflect on what's actually happening for you. When you reflect, that energy will change for you and it will work within your favor. So that's what I'm getting from the Shadowscapes, but I will come back to that after I've had a look at what's happening with the Neon Tarot deck. So Neon Tarot deck, it's a slightly different energy. It's slightly cooler in elements. You've got a lot of swords, you've got pentacles, you've got the Apprentice, which is the Page of Wands, you've got the 9, you've actually got the 9 of Wands here as well. And you've got the 6 of Swords moving away into the Moon with the Strength card and the card of Temperance. I apologize if you can't quite see all of them. So here, it's slightly different. It is a sort of restless energy, but what they're trying to say to you is to actually know that you have the resources available within you. And it's not about you. It's actually a lot about external force and actually contemplating how external forces are actually having an impact on your circumstances. When you're able to actually look within yourself and say, okay, this is not really where I want to be right now, then you're able to reflect on where you really want to be, and you'll be able to manifest things more in a more positive way. And I suppose the ironic part of this particular reading is that I would say that these cards are probably a lot more positive than the Shadowscape ones, which I wasn't expecting. I was sort of expecting for the Shadowscape cards to be a lot more positive, and for the Neon Tarot deck, because the Neon Tarot deck deals with the shadow side of ourselves, and I was expecting the Neon Tarot deck to be a lot darker and to highlight a lot of the shadow side of things, but that's not the case. What they're really trying to say to you is that there are options available to you, and that actually there's a lot more discovery ahead of you, especially with things that you might feel uncomfortable, and you have all the things available to you that can actually make you feel a lot more capable in this journey. And you're definitely able to see things in a really deeper way if you let go of any external forces and trying to actually control things at the moment. With the Agent of Swords, which is actually the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands together, it's really trying to tell you that you're using your mind, but you also need to sort of relinquish a lot of the control and the creativity that comes with just trying to go about daily life. And with the Queen of Pentacles here, it's actually called the Supervisor of Zent. She's actually asking you to reflect on your dreams and to be really grounded with what it is that you've already achieved, and not to move too quickly, too fast. The Six of Swords is asking you to move away from that which is not working for you anymore and really reflecting on the wisdom of what you already have. So I'm feeling that you're somebody who has really got a lot of intelligence and drive and ambition, but you're feeling a little bit frustrated with how things are right now, and that can be really difficult for you. But what they're really trying to say is you have a lot more wisdom than you might think, and that you have a lot more intelligence and a lot more drive than you might think, and that just because you aren't able to manifest it right now in the way that you think doesn't mean that you won't be able to. You actually need to take a step back and choose a very different approach and a very different perspective so that you can get to where you want, and that you can actually manifest something really powerful and really beautiful with the Strength card and with Temperance, which is really beautiful. So I think that in terms of messages, they're really asking you to reflect on where you want to be, who you really are. And this is a very sort of spiritual reading. I guess all readings are spiritual, but this reading is really about deep inner reflection. It's really about traveling to a place that you might not have been before and discovering things about yourself that you might not immediately value, and you might think, well, I don't really need to work on that within myself. But it's actually about saying, well, are you sure about that? Are you sure that you don't need to work on things that you already thought that you had already covered? Lessons that you think, oh, I've already done that, but are you really sure? And what can it actually teach you? So this might seem quite frustrating, but actually this lesson can actually, well, I won't call it a lesson, but this time can actually teach you something really powerful and really beautiful that you can actually use in a really practical way, whether it's with work, school, business, relationships. This time is going to teach you something really powerful, and I know you can't see it right now, and I know it's really frustrating, but it's going to be something really beautiful, really powerful that you can take with you, all these things that you're learning right now. And that's what I would say to you about your reading. And I think that's all that this particular reading has to say to you from pile number 1. But if you enjoyed that, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Hi guys, welcome. If you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. So this particular reading is very different from pile number 1. The energy is completely different. I would say that this reading is really all about potential. It's all about reaching into yourself and actually getting excited about this time of incubation. A lot of us now are sort of, I suppose, in a stasis, in a place where we're actually thinking about where to move on to, and actually getting excited about all the potential changes that are actually happening. So if you chose this pile, you actually see the potential that actually lives inside of you during this time. You're actually really excited about all the things that are happening to you and for you. And having this time where you're allowed to sort of think and really reflect on where it is your life has been going. It's a quieter sort of energy. Perhaps the people that chose pile number 2, I wouldn't say all of them, are a little bit more contemplative, a lot more reflective of their time, and they're actually excited by how quiet it is in terms of, I guess, this period in time. And it might not be quiet externally, but you certainly are allowed to sort of stop and allow yourself to think and reflect on what you've achieved. And I also get the feeling that you're at a point, there's quite a few people coming through where your life has been really, really busy, and now you're in a position where you're like, oh, things have really changed for me. And actually, I want my life to be really different from where it has been. And you want to make a really big change, whether that's a career change, whether that's a life change, a relationship change. You really are at a turning point. So this is a really powerful time for you. And allowing yourself to really reflect on these things is really important for you. And you do need to be a little bit careful that you're not allowing your thoughts to get away with you, because I do feel like you're somebody who has sort of you have the potential to really think about really powerful ideas and to come up with really amazing plans strategically. But you need to sort of back it up and say, is this something that's really possible? And I would say that a lot of the people that are coming through right now for this reading are actually quite pragmatic. They're really practical. They really want to plan. They really want to see things in action. But because there's a lot less fire in this reading, there's a lot less, I guess, irritation or, that sort of ambivalence that comes with, jumping in feet first. There's a much more grounded practicality about the people who have chosen this pile. I would say you really need to reflect on whether these plans can actually be put in place, and not just like an idea pie in the sky. They're not just ideas, they're not just things that are free-flowing, and you need to actually put them in place practically. So you've got quite a lot of earth energy here, which is very grounded. It's really nice, but you've balanced it out with a little bit of fire, and there is an excitement about your next chapter in life actually, and you're taking a couple of steps forward to see where this actually lands you. There is a little bit of hesitation about whether this new chapter in your life is actually going to work out for you. And what I would say to you is that you need to actually not be afraid of the change that's coming for you. And you need to not be afraid that these things are really natural. They're a part of where you're supposed to be going, a part of where you're supposed to be. You're thinking, so for example, you might have a job in a corporate firm that has really been working for you in the past, but all of a sudden it's sort of like, well, do I really want to be doing this until I'm 65? Or don't I want to have my own business? Or do I really see myself working for a company? Or don't I just want to be my own boss? So this is something very powerful for you. And even though it's materially, okay, it's to do with the material world because you've got a lot of earth energy in this reading, and it is a lot to do with money because there's 6 of Pentacles, but you've also got the aspirational card of the Knight of Cups. These are very spiritual concerns because it's about your happiness, it's about your well-being. So I'm getting the feeling that the people who have chosen this pile are sort of underestimating the power of this decision and the power of their own choices and how much of an impact it's actually going to make on their lives. So I would say come out of your shell and really embrace how it is that you're feeling right now. And I know it's very uncomfortable sometimes because we really want to be sure about what we're doing, and you're the kind of person that really wants to get a really good grasp of what it is that your future is going to hold, but we can't really control those things. And I do get a lot of people the feeling right now that you're quite sensible and you really just want things to stick before you go forwards, and you've always taken the well-known road. And a lot of people might also be surprised by the choices that you make in the next couple of months, next couple of years, because you'll be like, actually, this doesn't really suit me, and they might be shocked. So it's not about them. That's what I would say to you. It's about you, and it's about making a life choice that's really going to work for you and that's spiritually very fulfilling, with the Hermit and the King of Cups. So it's very not you, and the choices that you have to make are, they're not really something that you're used to feeling. It's a little bit like a duck that isn't quite ready to go out into the water. You're not quite sure if this is really the right choice for you. And what I would say to you is, allowing yourself to feel those things is the only way you're going to be able to explore them properly. And yeah, I feel that there's been a lot of messages that have come through for me in this reading that are really powerful for you, and they're coming out quite forcefully. This group is a little bit quieter, I feel, a lot more, you know, oh, I'll keep going if it feels right sort of thing. But I'm getting a lot of people who really have some fantastic ideas, and you should really embrace them. If you've got them, don't be afraid. So this is a very reflective but very grounded and sensible group, but I really do feel that if there's something you really want to act on and it's there and it's inside of you, you deserve to explore it. You deserve to really find out how it is that it sits with you. And can you imagine yourself in another position at your job? Or can you imagine yourself having a different kind of family life? Can you imagine yourself in another place in your life, you know, location wise? Maybe you want a different house. So all these things are really big life decisions, but they can have a huge impact, and you do have a voice, and you are able to actually say, hey, I have a choice in this matter and I want to voice it. So to group pile number 2, kudos to you. I am really hoping that you actually act on your dreams and the things that you really love, because this is really an important time for you, and good luck to you. Again, if you liked what I had to say, please feel free to hit the subscribe button to view more of my videos, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys. Hi guys, and if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. So my feeling here is that there is a sense of, I guess, mixed energy. And there is a feeling of, okay, I know what it is that I need to do. I want to still be creative, but then you'll have a lull in energy and it will pull you down, and there will be some self-sabotaging sort of thoughts and feelings, and you'll feel like you're stuck again and you want to do the right thing. You still have the creativity inside of you, and then it will pull down into a lull, but then you'll try and do the right thing, and you're trying to stay very balanced on top of things. So it's a very mixed sort of energy. It's not entirely negative. I wouldn't say it's an entirely positive energy, but the messages that I'm getting for you are for you to lean into something that you feel really good about. And it's okay for you to have these kind of mixed feelings. It's okay for you to sort of, okay, some days I feel a little bit off, some days I feel really passionate about what I'm doing. And I think at this time where we're both sort of feeling there's a little bit of a downward sort of energy, it's kind of natural to have those feelings, and there is no wrong or right way to feel. And I think it's also important for you to feel connected to other people and to not lose sight of those particular energies within you. So when I'm saying those particular energies, I mean all that creativity, all the warmth that you get from family and friends. So those are things that are really powerful and beautiful, and you can concentrate and focus on them. So, but there is really no right or wrong way to feel. It's just how you're feeling at the moment, and it's totally fine. So with the 4 of Swords, you've got the 9 of Cups here, you've got a lot of earth energy here as well. So there's 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and you've also got the 5 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and the Fool. So here you've got kind of like a very restful sort of energy, and it's sort of like, well, you feel almost like you're being pulled one way and then you're being pulled another way. So it's a little bit like taffy, and that's totally fine. But it's also important for you to know that it's okay for you to feel connected, and there is some sort of wisdom that comes from actually pulling together and focusing in on what it is that you really want to get done right now. And there is, I guess, a danger into falling into sort of like an apathetic energy, an apathy, because it's not like there's any huge dramas with these particular messages. There isn't anything particularly dramatic about these particular messages. It's just asking you to really reflect on what it is that you're really thinking and feeling within your own thought patterns, and being like, okay, well, what can I take back from it? What can I really enjoy within myself? This sort of energy that's a little bit uncomfortable. It's not quite right for me right now. It doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere. It feels like things are sort of stuck. They're in a sort of like a stasis. They're sort of like, well, why should I do anything? Because I don't really feel like I'm getting anywhere, like I'm doing anything. I feel like I'm rotating on these wheels and nothing's really going anywhere. So there aren't any particularly, I would say, passionate feelings. I would say it's very sort of like a mid-ground, stuck, sort of taffy-like energy, like I said. The messages that I'm getting for you: reflect on the things that feel important and refocus your energy, because there is a lot of mixed energy here. And what I feel is really important is for you to reflect on that which is really powerful and really is going to help you in this time. So the Judgment card. Judgment is all about understanding within yourself. It's all about trying to really gain clarity on a situation that isn't necessarily all that clear. And with Judgment, it's also really powerful because it helps you to understand, okay, this is my calling, this is where I'm meant to be. And it's all about being okay with where you are. Once you say, okay, you accept, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be right now, then actually you can get a bit of momentum, you can get a bit more movement, and you can get a little bit more clear about where you want to go, and you can actually feel revived and refreshed in wherever it is that you want to move to. Because it's sort of like a very difficult energy that I'm getting right now. When I say difficult, I mean it feels a little bit stuck. You know, for a lot of these cards, it's sort of like, well, you just need to kind of go with the flow as well. You need to really feel like these two figures are very starkly contrasted. They might seem really different, but actually they look really similar in their position, which I actually never noticed before. The Fool and Judgment, they're actually in similar positions. So what they're really trying to say to you is to actually trust in what it is that you're feeling right now, and actually to gain clarity on where it is that you are right now, you need to trust yourself a little bit. You need to pull back and say, okay, well, I feel like this right now, and that's totally fine, but I need to be really clear that it's okay to feel this way right now, that it's fine that I'm feeling a little bit stuck, that it's fine that it's a little bit uncomfortable, that it's fine that I might feel a little bit aimless. I might not feel very ambitious right now. I might not be hitting the goals that I want to hit right now, and that is totally fine. And all you need to do is say to yourself, okay, I just need to gain clarity on this, and the way I need to gain clarity on this is say, hey, it's okay, it's fine. You need to go a little bit more with the flow right now. So what I would say is, once you do that, then you can actually refocus your energies and you can gain a little bit more clarity. And what's interesting is actually the Two of Cups was just popping up here just as I was talking. And you can gain a lot more joy from actually sitting with this energy and realizing the potential that it has. Everything about these readings that I've done so far have been about the potential of the energy that you sit with. So the messages that I'm getting for this particular reading are: sit with the energy and realize what its potential is, because it's a lesson, it's a guru, it's a teacher. It's trying to say to you, hey, look, you know, how can I be handled? How can you handle me so that you can actually transform it into something that's really beautiful? And what it's really trying to say to you right now is, look, I need you to handle me. I need you to sit with me right now. I need some attention, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't really make a lot of sense, even if it's a little bit patchy. This is the energy you need to sit with right now. And that's all I really have for pile number 3. So I hope that that gave you a little bit of clarity into that situation. And if you liked what you saw today, please feel free to subscribe or like my video to see more videos, and I will see you soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.